A train travels 250 miles at a constant speed x in miles per hour. Enter an equation that can be used to find the speed of the train if the time to travel 250 miles is 5 hours. Alright, first thing I notice in this problem, other than some of the values, the quantity 250 miles, and it took 5 hours to travel that distance, is that they don't actually want me to find this constant speed value. They want me to enter an equation. So we cannot jump to conclusions and start solving equations. Let's just first focus that we have the correct equation, because that is all we need to enter into our response box down below. Alright, so let's go ahead and start this problem. We know that the train is traveling from one point to another point. Just call it A to B. And this distance is 250 miles. And we also know from the word problem in the last sentence that it took 5 hours to travel these 250 miles. Now we know that the train doesn't just go one speed the whole time. It speeds up and gets its traveling speed, and once it gets to its destination, it probably starts to slow down because it probably wants to stop and unload whatever's on the train. However, we would kind of say that there had an average or a constant speed from one location to the next. Now, the formula that we have is distance is equal to rate times time. The distance, it's 250 miles. The rate is the speed we are traveling, and the time is the amount of time it took for us to travel that distance. And in this case, it's 5 hours. Now, going back to the problem for one more look, they also give us here the constant speed, and they give us this variable x inside the parentheses. So we're going to use that as we create our equation based off the information we have, using distance is equal to rate times time. Okay, so let's enter what we know. The distance is 250 miles, and that is equal to x, which is our rate, our speed, and we get the x variable from the word problem, times 5 hours for the time. Now, we could always rewrite this to make it look a little bit more neat by multiplying the 5x together, 5 and x together, and getting 5x. We're also used to seeing the x on the other side. So, all three of these should qualify as correct answers or correct equations to solve this problem. So as we come over here, we just have to choose which of these we would like to enter. And I will go ahead and enter that final selection just because it looks the most neat. 5x equals 250. Now remember, they didn't actually want us to solve it, but, curious. Let's go ahead and find out what that rate would have been. We divide by 5 on both sides. These 5's cancel. X is equal to, 5 will cancel this out, making it 50. And so we know that that train was traveling a constant speed of 50 miles per hour.